just a quick video, guys, on Duolingo and why I think it's just kind of my opinion on it really quickly. So, why beginners should use it. Duolingo does get a lot of hate, really, on, like, people say it's the worst and you shouldn't use it and it teaches you bad habits as far as language learning goes. But here's the thing, as a beginner, the biggest challenge you'll have with learning a language is really the lack of a clear path. I've actually talked about this in my video. I'll have it pop up on the screen right now. And this lack of a clear path is basically you want to learn a language, but you don't know what you need to actually learn to learn the language. Like, you don't know what cases, you don't know what tenses, you don't know what all these complicated language topics are that you've never seen before. And so because you don't know this and you don't have really a structure to follow, unless you have someone who's literally walking you through the whole language step by step, which is bad in and of itself, you can't really learn the language because you just don't know what to learn. You're stuck. So I think even though Duolingo is unsophisticated and it is wrong, some of the time at least, it's not always wrong, less than 50%, and it is silly, and it's teaching you kind of to solve puzzles, which is not the best for just active communication and that kind of thing. It still provides a somewhat decent path for beginners to follow. Like, they start with, like greetings and basic things, and then they progress to more difficult things. So I think when a lot of experts, by experts I mean people who speak many languages, maybe even more than 10, when those people say Duolingo is bad, don't use it, what they're saying is, I don't use it because I don't need that kind of structure anymore. But you, as a beginner, when you take on board that advice, what actually happens is, even though they're the experts, their advice isn't necessarily helping you, because their advice is for other experts, people like them. Their advice isn't for people like you who actually do need that structure, and then once Duolingo is taken away, or any unsophisticated way of learning, because it's for beginners, is taken away, you are kind of stuck, and then you feel like it's all a scam, and you don't even know what you're doing, how to learn a language, and you give up. So don't let people take away things that do actually help you learn a language. If you have made more progress on Duolingo than you ever have before in your life, absolutely use it for a bit. Eventually you'll just want to wean off it naturally, because you'll feel that it slows you down, and you'd actually would rather read a kind of article explaining something than do a silly lesson with hearts on it. But yeah, the main problems I've found with Duolingo, the reasons it actually gets critiqued, is because it is not a very high quality teaching system, also as far as explanations go, and troubleshooting. So it kind of, if I'm presuming you've used it because you are watching this video, I don't presume you've never used it before. It almost teaches you to solve puzzles with, like, you move the blocks together to make the sentence, or you got to type in the right word, or you got to listen to the sound and pick the right one. It's like puzzle solving, but then when you actually need to speak to someone, you do kind of have a knowledge. Like, if someone said to you, oh, what's the word for water, and you were learning Italian, you go, oh, it's aqua, I know that. But you couldn't have like a conversation, which is the actual purpose. Like, you're not learning a language to solve puzzles. That's boring. You're learning a language to speak it, and Duolingo doesn't really train you to do that. However, doing nothing also doesn't train you to do that, and doing nothing is far worse than using Duolingo, for sure. Like, there's not even a competition. So this is a better alternative to giving up and doing nothing, and that is why I do see Duolingo as a good thing, because it's sparking that interest, and it is encouraging people to learn the language. You're absolutely welcome to disagree, and you're welcome to comment down below politely about your beliefs. But yeah, I do see it as helping people, and yeah, eventually you will just naturally want to wean off it. But a lot of people don't get to that point. I am one of those people that got to that point. I actually it did pique my interest. So in language learning, if you look down here, I believe I'm at 1,010 now. This was a screenshot from a week or two ago. But yeah, I have actually reached a 1,000-day streak on Duolingo. That is not fake. I can send you my account details if you would like. I might even put them in the description if I can be bothered. But yeah, I was someone who really was just interested, and I didn't know anything about language learning, and I started on Duolingo. I thought this was cool, and then now I don't use it anymore. Obviously, you might go, oh, you've got a 1,000-day streak, you obviously use it. Not really. I just do one lesson, like, at work when there's no one to talk. Like, when I'm just bored or whatever, like, I'll just do one lesson. And yeah, I just think it's kind of fun just to do one lesson, because it does remind me, it keeps me humble. It reminds me of how it was when I originally started. And yeah, I do like that. I do like staying humble and that kind of thing. I wouldn't want to be one of those people that kind of forgets how it is to be a beginner, and then their advice is just shit because they don't know. They can't relate to you anymore. They've moved on. So yeah, that's me. That's just my opinion on Duolingo. So yeah, yeah, that's basically all there is to it. I will talk a little bit about the coaching program we're offering, but you don't have to watch this if you're not interested. I would highly recommend, though, if you are a beginner and you're struggling with particular problems or anything really, you just want to learn a second language quicker and you're not a expert learner, obviously, I'm currently offering online coaching calls, so I will mentor you and walk you through any problems you have, tricky concepts, study habits, literally anything, and I'll actually give you specialized advice. So if you think like YouTube videos where they give, general language learning advice or advice on anything, those are nothing compared to actually specialized advice. With this, it's literally one-on-one. I'm not doing anything else. I'm literally talking to you. You can tell me anything, like any of your problems, and I'll actually go through and fix it. And not only that, you can actually send me your problems as an email, and I'll go off and research them in the actual language you're learning and understand it perfectly, so I can teach that to you. And yeah, this isn't like we're going to speak the same. We're going to speak whatever language you're learning together, because obviously I don't know every language. This is just this is me helping you with language learning problems and troubleshooting, and so you can become the most efficient learner possible. So yeah, there are a lot of bonuses up for grabs at the moment, just because I do not have that many students, so I don't need to limit the amount of students I have yet. I can offer these bonuses, but yeah, I would highly recommend it. It is affordable. It's only 35 AUD, which is Australian dollars, which is way cheaper than most tutoring in, I think, most places. So yeah, I would highly recommend it. Just check my email in the description. You can get in contact with me and we can talk about it and see what's best for you and that kind of thing. So yeah, thank you guys, and I would appreciate if you liked and subscribed as well. Enjoy.